Hi, I'm Andy Temte, and welcome to the Saturday Morning Muse. Start your weekend with me by exploring topics that span leadership, business management, education, and other musings designed to support your journey of personal and professional continuous improvement. In this forum, I like tackling topics that don't get a lot of airplay, and this week's Muse is no exception. Today we're going to talk about emotional waste and unpack the subject of insecurity, specifically as it relates to personal fears and self-doubt. This topic doesn't get the attention it deserves because, in my opinion, we spend most of our time and energy stuffing our insecurities into tiny boxes that no one can see, boxes that we rarely take out of storage and examine with clear eyes. Instead, we work to cover up our insecurities with swagger, bravado, and window dressing, leaving this key cause of our anxieties to fester and stew until they come out to play in unproductive ways. For touchy subjects like this, I typically try to focus primarily on their application in a business setting. However, it's impossible to separate insecurities in our personal lives from those related to our business selves. Insecurity and self-doubt fluidly and frequently make the transit between work and home, so trying to separate the two is indeed futile. The sources of insecurity abound. They are everywhere. Jealousy, unresolved failure, challenging relationships, lack of skill and education, poor planning, bullying, institutionalized bias, and the absence of a sense of belonging are but a few of the reasons. To punch the point regarding the fluid nature of insecurity, just spend a little time with the list that we just described and explore how easy it is to find examples where these issues apply both at home and at the office. So, if the sources of insecurity are everywhere, what's the solution? I believe the drivers to turn insecurity into confidence fit into three main categories. Number one is education. Number two is mentorship and coaching. And number three is self-care. Let's talk about education first. There is nothing that builds confidence like education, especially experiential learning, actually working with the thing that you're trying to learn about. An education is a proven source of financial security, and the adoption of a lifelong learning mindset is a big step toward maintaining workplace relevance throughout one's working life. Alternatively, a calcified, fixed mindset and the adoption of the belief system that we are somehow done learning after a certain age leads to unproductive and, in my opinion, unnecessary insecurities. Throughout my career, I've seen these unproductive insecurities take the form of jealousy, obfuscation, bullying, finger-pointing, and blame as fixed mindset team members try to deflect focus from their own shortcomings onto other teams or individuals. The emotional waste that's generated by these behaviors seeps into the culture of the organization, negatively impacting morale and productivity. The solution? Irrespective of your company's industry classification, make it crystal clear through both words and actions that education and learning are central to your business's strategic plan and are deeply ingrained in your ways of working. This messaging must be driven from the Chief Executive Officer's desk. It cannot be delegated to the head of learning and development or human resources. If senior leadership doesn't walk the talk, then learning will not become a priority. Next, let's talk about mentorship and coaching. Think back to your own experience. How many times in your life did an insecurity become more manageable or even melt away once you brought it into the light of day in a psychologically safe environment by engaging with a trusted coach or mentor? In my experience, the best way to alleviate insecurity is through the development of a key workplace skill: the willingness and ability to engage in frank and fearless conversations. For many of us, constructive conflict is not a natural state, and being able to engage in it is a learned skill. Constructive conflict takes practice, and one of the best places to practice is with a coach or mentor. So, what's the solution? The solution is to make coaching and mentorship a priority in your organization. This can be done using a blend of internal and external resources. First, make coaching an explicit component of your average manager's job description and provide them the tools and training to build their skill as coaches. Unfortunately, many managers don't consider mentorship and coaching as part of their role, falling back instead on a directive, over-the-shoulder management style. Second, make the time and space for coaching in the normal flow of business activity in your organization. If coaching is uncommon or infrequent, it won't be woven into your culture. Finally, make external coaching available with equity to team members across the organization. There will definitely be cases where a team member will not be able to fully open up to his or her manager and need an objective third party to talk to. In other words, internal coaches and managers may not provide a necessary level of psychological safety for true discovery to occur. Fortunately, external coaching is not nearly expensive, organizationally intrusive, or elitist as it once was. Just do a quick internet search and look for online coaching organizations. There's quite a few good ones out there. The third way that we're going to alleviate anxiety is through self-care and self-love. Whenever I'm on an airplane and hear the pre-flight safety announcements, I'm reminded of the importance of self-love and self-care. The phrase, "put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others," translates to, it's really hard to give your best self to others if you're not taking care of yourself first. So, how does this relate to managing our insecurities? If we're not actively engaged in a personal continuous improvement journey and are not committed to loving and understanding ourselves, it's easy to focus our attention on trying to fix the perceived inadequacies of others that are in our orbit. Our personal baggage then smolders unattended and sparks fires at the least opportune times. The solution? A big part of any self-care journey is setting appropriate expectations for yourself so that insecurities are minimized. Grow your network, learn new skills, and surround yourself with positive influences. Recognize that you are not on an island and are not alone. Investing in strengthening your mind and body is essential. If you're surrounded by a bunch of negative people, well, you're going to get and reap what you sow. Now, here's where you can turn vulnerability into a superpower. Let others in and let them know how you're feeling without tipping over into the oversharing category. It's a tough balancing act to do, but it's valuable. Let your people know that you, as the leader, are not all powerful and that you need their help for the team to succeed. If you can constructively show your team that you also have insecurities, You can teach them how to effectively deal with their own. Lead by example. So, in conclusion, I'm currently living through a significant life event that has the potential to throw me off balance, and that is my shift from being a CEO of a large organization to the individual that I am now, speaking with you and providing my experience so that you can learn and grow from it. How am I working through this life change without allowing myself to succumb to the traps of insecurity? I'm talking to others, I'm pushing myself to learn new skills, and I'm taking additional steps on my personal continuous improvement journey. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I screw up all the time. But this formula has helped me minimize emotional waste generated by unnecessary insecurities in the past. Finally, don't be afraid to invest in professional help, meaning coaching for you, therapy for you. We need to collectively remove the stigma associated with seeking counsel to help deal with our inner demons and insecurities. Unnecessary emotional waste carries a real cost. Our families and business associates deserve our best selves. Thanks for engaging today. Thank you for listening to the Saturday Morning Muse. I wish you all the best as you recharge this weekend for the week ahead. We'll see you next time.